And joining us on the line, great to be chatting to him again, we've got Tony Smith. G'day, Tony. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm awesome, Clayton. Yourself?
Awesome. Well, I haven't heard awesome for a while, so yeah, I'm feeling awesome now too myself, so good on you.
You got to chirp it up a bit, don't you? Like try and rise above everything that's happening at the moment.
Yes, we're trying to do that and get above it. So how is it going for you at the moment? How are you keeping your head above it all?
Yeah, we're not too bad down here. We're in Wentworth, so just up the river a bit from you guys. So we're going all right. We've opened the park back up Monday week ago, and a few drifting travellers are coming through. Obviously, people are still locked down in their hotspots, but got the odd person that's travelling through, and we've got quite a few South Australians in the park just waiting for permits to try and get home. Some have been waiting about 7 weeks now, so we've become family.
And have you been entertaining them with the guitar at night?
Oh, we try to. When we get a chance, we get the guitar out and sing around the campfire. So, but 7 weeks, if you did it 3 times a week, after 7 weeks, they'd probably start singing the songs with you. So I don't want to bore them too much.
Well, they might give you some good song ideas too.
True.
And I only do that because I'm looking at your website, tonysmithmusic.com.au, and I see the cover of the Stir the Embers album and just you poking the fire there and the guitar and that, and it's just a magnificent sort of image, and that's, I just sort of wonder whether you were doing that with the folks there as well. Yeah,
we certainly do that. That's the fire-gazing side of things, the Stir the Embers. I'm a bit of a pyromaniac myself, so I had to sing songs about fire and embers and all that sort of stuff. So sitting around a campfire is the way to go, I reckon.
Oh, it certainly is. Is it something you're looking forward to over the coming months as the season gets a bit warmer?
Well, we're looking forward to being able to travel and do some music, hopefully. So Tamworth will be our first stop. I've been invited to sing at the Long Yard for the Songwriter Salute Awards. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then from there, we'll just see where we go, where we drift to. So it'll be great.
Well, since we last spoke, have you done any more songwriting?
I have written a couple of songs since we last spoke.
Yeah,
I reckon, and so I've actually started recording the next album, and I've caught up with Matt Fell, who's a great producer, and we did a bit of work on the recording studio, which was the ABC show a couple of years back now. But caught up with Matt, sent him some tracks, and he sent me back some instrumental stuff, and love it. So really looking forward to getting stuck into the next album.
And what's sort of the prognosis for that? Will that be sometime, mid to late next year, or what's?
Yeah, I think so. Depending on how travels go, if we can get out and travel, and we're not locked down to any state, then I might spend the first 6 to 8 months just travelling and doing some music, and then settle down and finish the album off, I reckon.
And are these new songs, are they inspired by sitting around a campfire, or has COVID kind of influenced them?
I haven't written a COVID-influenced song. I'm trying to stay away from that.
Yeah, good on you.
I think everybody else, there's a few you see on Facebook and that, some of the takeoffs of other tunes and some different words. But no, I'm really trying to stay away from the COVID-inspired songs at the moment, and just writing about real life, I guess, the travels and the farm and a few love songs and all the ones that mix in well, drought songs. So COVID will be next album.
Your current song we're going to be talking about here is Beautiful Dreamer, and I understand it was inspired by a birthday card.
It was, yeah. It was a birthday card for my daughter's 13th birthday. I got up early. I was heading off shearing, so my wife Anna left the card on the table and said, "Don't forget to write in that card." So I sat down for a couple of minutes and wrote a little verse that I thought Holly would like when she got up before she went to school, have a read. And when I came back, I was away for about a week, and then I was reading the card again, and I thought, I reckon I could turn that into a song, that little verse. And it's a song about, a dad's love for his daughter, and no boyfriend's ever going to measure up to dad's expectations. So, keep your head out of the clouds, and if you ever need a shoulder to cry on, dad's always there. So it's a dad-daughter song.
And it's a very universal song too, in the respect that on the weekend I got to hold my great niece. And when I was listening to your song, it took me back to that moment, and I was thinking and feeling exactly the same thing. And I can still feel as I'm holding. Yeah, I can still feel it now. So it does translate and resonate so well. So, dads, you want to have a listen to this song coming up. So, well done, Tony. Thank you for doing that.
Good on you, Clayton. No worries, my pleasure.
It's just one of those things, and getting all misty about it now. But anyway, we need to move on. So, how's your daughter now? What was her reaction when she heard the song? Was she like, "That's my dad"? Or
yeah,
what?
No, she loved the little verse, and I guess because I write songs and poetry. Every time there's a birthday or an anniversary, Anna throws me the card and says, "Quick, write a little verse in here." So I should have a little book really of all the verses I've written and little poems and limericks and stuff, but I haven't. But no, she loved it, and when I finally finished the song, she was very proud that she'd inspired something like that. So
it's sometimes the inspiration's close to home, isn't it?
That's right, and I think more often than not, I think songwriters find their inspiration from their close adventures and family and their loves and losses, and I think that's why everybody can relate to it.
Yeah, and that's certainly what I did as well. Tony, you mentioned limericks there. So what sort of limericks were you writing? Were they ones that we can share, or are they ones that you need? You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, look, how old are you, Clayton?
I'm in my 50s, so old enough.
Righto.
Yeah.
Righto. So you'd remember the Mad magazine?
Oh yes, indeed, indeed.
So I think I had a subscription to the Mad magazine, and that was where my first love of poetry came from. There was a limerick section in the Mad magazine, and there was a poem. There's a little limerick that went. There was a young man called Davy who hated the food in the Navy, couldn't eat beef in case his false teeth fell out and sank in the gravy. And I loved it, and I thought, that's smart. So from there, I started writing little limericks and a bit of poetry. And in primary school, I'd written quite a few poems, and it just sort of went on from there until I left school and started putting some music to them. So I never really came up with really naughty limericks. No, unless it was around a campfire with the boys, probably.
I can think of a few that I've come up with from time to time, but that's limericks are like that. But yeah. So, do you think that at school these days that poetry is something that is not being encouraged or even taught a great deal of? Because I kind of think it's something that when I've spoken to my niece and my nephews at times, and we've brought up poems and that, they just sort of look at me blankly, and I think they've missed out on something. They really have.
Look, poetry as a genre has got a very wide, how would you put it? It's a very wide type of writing, like there'd be poems, people write poems that don't rhyme, and they call it poetry, even though it's more like their view of the world or that sort of thing. I'm really a rhyming poet. I love rhyming poetry. The Mantra Snow River's my die for poem, like the Mantra Snow River's just the ultimate poem that could ever been written, as far as I'm concerned. But, I think kids, unless they can relate to a poem, they don't know what poetry is. But it's sort of got to be a little bit in your blood, I think, to be able to rhyme stuff. My son is 22 and he's got his own band. He writes his own songs, and I love his songs. And he writes his rhyming poetry, or he might not in some songs, but I think it just depends on what you're brought up around, probably.
Yeah, well, I grew up loving the lyrics of Bob Dylan, who was a poet.
Yeah,
and
sure.
And the way that he would rhyme, and it would just go, how did he come up with that? That it shouldn't be that way, but now he's changed it, and it's got me thinking in this way, and that's what I love about it. And that's why I think it's something missing. Those great lyricists and the great poets that we grew up with, us older fellas, and I just think it's lost now.
Yeah, look, I would agree with you. I think Ringo Starr was on the TV this morning. When you look back at the Beatles songs, they're just really great poetry put to music, aren't they? And there's a great series on Netflix which is Echo in the Canyon, I think it's called, which is about the Beach Boys and Mama Cass and those sorts of bands around those days, where they actually brought folk music chords to rock music, and that was a big thing, and it became so popular that's where our next movement of music came from.
Yeah, and it's all around poetry and poets and being and it's not so much clever with words, but being able to articulate a point of view or a feeling or an emotion in such a way that people it doesn't just stay with them for a moment, it stays with them for life. That's
right, and can become one of their mainstay sayings even, or people pull that from them. But, look, I've written songs that I've written and recorded, and I listen back to 4 or 5 years later, and I only just realised then what exactly I meant when I wrote that line in the poem, so can move, it can change, and, that's how people relate to it, I reckon.
So, Tony, before we get to hear the song Beautiful Dreamer, what's the plans over the next few months? Are you hoping that things are going to loosen up so you can hit the road and hitch up the caravan and away you go?
Righto, next few months. We're contracted at the park until mid-January.
Yep.
And then after that, we'll go to Tamworth during that time. finish our contract, and then we'll hit the road. In the meantime, I think we've got a fair bit of water coming down the Murray, so I'm going to be shifting cabins and sandbagging and dealing with some water, hopefully catching some yabbies and some nice fish. So that'll be me before the end of the year, and then after the end of the year, we'll start travelling. Really looking forward to it.
And where do you get your more of inspiration from? Doing the little jobs around the park, or when you're out there travelling?
Oh, definitely travelling.
Yeah.
You know, you can you might drive a 10-hour stint, and while you're driving, your mind can churn over, and you'll see something out in the paddock, a tractor and a farmer or something like that, and it'll ignite an old memory, and that's where the songs come from. Around the park, riding the ride-on mower and digging weeds and putting people in spots. Not a lot of inspiration at the moment for the songwriting with that.
Come on, mate. Come on. I think we need to dig deep here. Come on. I think there's a mowing poems there sitting there waiting to be launched upon everyone.
I think John Williamson nailed it when he wrote "Old Farts in Caravan Parks" because I get that requested quite a bit. I actually haven't learnt the song, but they go, "Do you know Old Farts in Caravan Parks?" So I think he must have nailed that one with the caravan park type side of things.
Yes, Aussies, just the way they do it. Yeah, I love it. I'm sure you're going to get more inspiration. Anyway, we've got the song here, "Beautiful Dreamer," and dads and granddads and uncles, you're going to relate to this song. So just get ready to check it all out. It will connect with you. Tony, good luck with everything. Thank you so much for spending time with us. If we want to know more about any tours you're doing or about your music, then we can certainly go to your website, tonysmithmusic.com.au, and we can find out more about you and enjoy your music and everything as well. So thank you for joining us today on Flow. We've got the song here ready to go. If you could please introduce it for everyone.
It's my pleasure, Clayton. Thanks very much for your time. And I'm Tony Smith, and this is my new release, "Beautiful Dreamer." I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, beautiful dreamer, high above all you see. Don't you know I'm meant for you? I can fly, set me free, and I'll stay right beside you. When you're lost in the clouds, you won't know that I'm near you. Just another face in the crowd. But when your heart is pumping and your feet won't stay on the ground, your ears are ringing but your head is hearing no sound. Your voice is calling but your words have nowhere to go. Reach for me, I'll be the one that you know. Hey, beautiful dreamer, on your road of mystery, I'll gather the pieces that you lose on the way. Then when you're not watching, put them back where they belong, so that you can keep moving. Sing the world your beautiful song. But when your heart is pumping and your feet won't stay on the ground, your ears are ringing but your head is hearing no sound. Your voice is calling but your words have nowhere to go. Reach for me, I'll be the one that you know. I'll be the one who will catch you when you fall, wrap you up and keep you warm. Say the word and I will always be around. I'll be a shelter from the storm. Hey, beautiful dreamer, when you find a dream to keep, your soul stops searching, drifting slowly off to sleep. Then when you awaken from your slumber, say safe and sound. You'll start a new journey, and I will always be around. But when your heart is pumping and your feet won't stay on the ground, your ears are ringing but your head is hearing no sound. Your voice is calling but your words have nowhere to go. Reach for me, I'll be the one that you know. Hey beautiful dreamer, my beautiful dreamer. Hey beautiful dreamer,